guys, so I did say in the last video, or I think 3 videos ago, that the setup process for VirtualBox was going to be 3 videos. However, if you have an environment already set up and you already have your text editor, and you're already familiar with how to get the command line open, ignore this video, because that's pretty much what this video is going to be over. It's going to be getting Sublime Text and making sure we know how to use the terminal. So first things first, before we download anything, you want to, this is basically the start window for Windows, or your little app view for Mac. I forget what that's called. But if you click on this button right here and you type in terminal, you have a little terminal that'll pop up. It's also useful to know that if you hit Control-Shift-T, or Control-T, Shift-T, or I guess not, Control-Alt-T, forgot there for a second. If you hit Control-Alt-T, it's a shortcut to bring up another terminal window. So some basic commands you want to know is cd, which is change directory, ls, which is list directory, and then make dir, which is going to make a directory. So for instance, if we ran ls, it'll show me all of the folders that I have in my home directory. If I hit make dir and I say make dir Twilio app, this is where I'm going to put all of my code for my Twilio app. And I can cd, which means I'm going to change my location and go into the Twilio app folder. And then I can run ls, and since I just created that folder, there's nothing inside of there. That's a brief overview. You really should be familiar with the terminal if you're watching these videos, but just in case you weren't, that's pretty much all you need. We'll be going over some other stuff later. And then go ahead and open up your Firefox web browser inside of your VirtualBox machine. We are going to download Sublime Text, which we already have done before in one of my previous videos, but just for the sake of continuity, whatever, we're going to download it here as well. So go ahead and type in Sublime Text into your browser, if it wants to. I'm going to close that. Sublime Text. Text editor you will fall in love with. It is a pretty good text editor. I highly recommend it if you haven't used it. Let it load up that web page. And then we're going to click download for Ubuntu, this blue button right here. Go ahead and hit that save file, and then open up the DEB. Linux, in order to install software, sometimes will make you open up a third-party window called Ubuntu software, and it's just it's like an interface for downloading packages, reading about the description of packages. It'll give you reviews of the package if it's known, but this is a third-party software, so it doesn't have any reviews. The source is unknown. It tells you how big it is. So go ahead and hit the install button. You're going to have to type in your password. And then let Sublime Text install. So it should be installed now. Once you see remove that button, that means that Ubuntu has installed Sublime Text. And you should be good to go. Let's see. Awesome. So now we have our text editor and we have a terminal window up. I'm going to show you guys how to install pip, virtual environment, and some Flask and NLTK and Corpus stuff that we'll need for developing in the next video. That's all going to be setting up our environment, our actual programming environment. I know there's a lot of environments that we're setting up in these videos, but we created a VirtualBox, which is like our developing environment. Now we're going to create our programs environment, which allows us to install Python packages without interrupting or disturbing any of our global packages, etc. And I'll go in more detail about that in the next video. So yeah, we should be really ready. I think we have one more video before we actually start coding. I'll see you guys in the next one.